Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. A little bit of a Nintendo update. Nintendo has been trending for all the wrong reasons this week. Between shutting down the Etika charity for the Joy-Con controllers, canceling tournaments, and now canceling Splatoon 2 events. They are losing favorability with a lot of Nintendo fans. And I gotta say this real quick. Let me preface this. I understand protecting your IP and things like that. They're within their rights. But there's a gray area when it comes to certain things that you block from. I addressed this with the whole Etika situation. But now we're going to talk about the Splatoon 2 event that got canceled. This news is a couple days old, but I wanted to touch base on it real quick because I'm a Nintendo fan, but I have opinions on this. So let's read this. Nintendo fans take issue with Splatoon event getting canceled. So the Splatoon 2 event. So Nintendo fans were none too happy that the company decided to cancel the Splatoon 2 tournament livestream. This followed last month's canceling of a fan tournament featuring Super Smash Bros. Melee. So I covered the cancellation of Melee. It was because they were essentially using pirated software or a modded version of Smash Brothers, and Nintendo was like, nope, we're not doing that. So it said, of course, Melee can't be easily streamed online with current Nintendo hardware, but no such worries exist with Splatoon 2. But the North American Open did not get the livestream treatment that was promised this weekend. About 30% of the players in the tourney voiced their support for the Melee players with their usernames. That probably prompted the Big N to close down shop, but it might have had the opposite effect as the company begins to trend on Twitter Sunday evening. Both hashtag Free Splatoon and hashtag Free Melee are all over the platform now. So these are the two trending things, hashtag Free Splatoon and hashtag Free Melee, that are trending right now. So the Big House, which was the tournament, who ran the Smash Brothers tourney, released a statement last month. The Big House is heartbroken to share we received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America Incorporated to cancel our upcoming online event. We were informed we do not have permission to host or broadcast the event, primarily due to the usage of Slippy. Sadly, all of our competitions are affected. We are forced to comply with the order and cancel the Big House online for both Melee and Ultimate. Refund info will be sent shortly. We apologize to all those impacted. So we covered that situation with the Big House, and I agree to an extent. Nintendo is well within the rights for shutting down mods and things like that. And in fact, I side more on Nintendo's side with that situation. With the Etika situation and the Etikons, no, I don't. I feel that was a bad look for Nintendo to shut that down. Granted, I don't know all the ins and outs or behind the scenes from the person that was manufacturing those Joy-Cons, or how much of a percentage of what goes to charity or any receipts. The end of the day is that it had, according to my observations and everybody else's observations, it was a thing for charity, for mental health awareness and things like that. So that's where I say it's a gray area. Now, let's take a look at this from Slimy. It says, so the Splatoon community, in support of the Smash community, has 30% of the top teams in this weekend's Splatoon 2 NA Open with teams' names in support of Melee and Smash. What does Nintendo of America do in response? They canceled the stream for tomorrow's finals. So Nintendo canceled it because of the outrage from the Melee community. So Nintendo offered a statement after the news began to spread. This is what Nintendo said about it. Nintendo appreciates the love and dedication the fighting game community has for Smash Bros. Series. We have partnered with numerous Smash Bros. Tournaments in the past and have hosted our own online and offline tournaments for the game, and we plan to continue that support in the future. Unfortunately, the upcoming Big House 4 tournament announced plans to host an online tournament for Smash Bros. Melee that requires use of illegally copied versions of the game in conjunction with a mod called Slippy during their online event. Nintendo therefore contacted the tournament organizers to ask them to stop. They refused, leaving Nintendo no choice but to step in to protect its intellectual property and brands. Nintendo cannot condone or allow privacy of its intellectual property. So, I completely agree with that. In regards to the Splatoon tournament as well, it's preventing support of piracy, whether you want to look at it or not. I'm not trying to say that Nintendo isn't kind of being a dictator in this, but at the end of the day, the problem is that illegal copies, illegal mods of Smash Brothers were being used to run a tournament. They were asked kindly by Nintendo to stop. They refused, and Nintendo was within their rights on this situation. So here's some reactions. We had people saying, "I'm not surprised at all by Nintendo on doing this. It's a shame they promoted an esports theme for Splatoon 2 in the Switch reveal, and we all know this won't ever happen. The community can live without Nintendo. It's tough, but the community stands together. Love you all." And the problem is here, guys, is that there was going to be a lot of backfire and dispute with the Melee situation on the Splatoon 2 tournament. The top 30% people were purposely provoking Nintendo. You could have just kept it chill and kept it about the competition and the sports and not even referred to the Melee situation. Now, here's the thing that's talking about the Etika Joy-Cons. It says, "I really love Nintendo, but only their games, not their customer support. This, at least to me, is a disgusting move of Nintendo has done, other than canceling Splatoon 2 final stream and Melee's tournament." So you can see Nintendo has unfortunately demanded the custom Etikons must no longer be sold anymore. So I covered that yesterday. And you can see currently over 1,000 people watching Splatoon 2 on Twitch right now with no events going on when it's normally got a couple dozen viewers. Nintendo took that L today. Despite not playing Splatoon anymore, Nintendo are cowards for canceling the Splatoon 2 stream just because of the free Melee hashtags. I think it's more than just a hashtag. I think they're covering their tracks. So they, I don't know, guys. It's a gray area, honestly. I'm not trying to say people don't have the right to not be mad, but the situation was much more bigger than them just canceling a tournament. It was falling from backlash and heat from a situation that was legally handed within their rights, unfortunately, whether we like it or not. So you can see in the course of 2 weeks, Nintendo has C&D'd a community Melee tournament, the Big House, shut down Splatoon 2 tournament over backlash, and C&D'd a mental health awareness fundraiser dedicated to one of the most passionate fans, Etika. And those are fair points. Again, I think in regards to the Melee tournament, though, they were well within their rights to shut that down, especially with mods being used. And then here's what somebody named Donovan says. "I like Nintendo, but I seriously think they need to fire their entire legal team and stop being so overprotective of their IP. And they need to address community backlash head on instead of dodging it like they did by canceling the Splatoon 2 live stream." So, definitely interesting what's going on with this. Again, I'm not trying to make excuses for Nintendo overall. I definitely disagree with the Etikon situation. I think they should have made some kind of agreement. Again, I don't know the behind the scenes of that. And if they really did approach the Big House and ask them to remove use of the mods and they could continue, that was the Big House's choice. Me personally, it is interesting to see just how trending and passionate the fans are getting about this. I mean, it is looking very brutal. I mean, usually the angry mob is the loudest on Twitter, and it's been trending for quite some time, for a better part of the last few days. Very interesting to see this situation. Honestly, on my half, it's not bugging me at all. I understand, legalities and stuff and them going through it, and ultimately it's not worth the fight to fight a big corporation like Nintendo. Just like CD Projekt Red taking down people's Let's Plays, it's the same situation. I think overall there's a gray area to it that a lot of people need to sit back and really look at and see, okay, is it worth really fighting for, mods or early copies or whatever. It's really a gray area. Personally, for me, I don't take issue with it, but I know a lot of you guys do, and I'm not saying you're wrong either. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your take on Nintendo right now and what they're doing with their legalities and their copyrights and stuff like that, because it is very interesting to talk about and look at the end of the day. Again, if they were asked to stop the mods for the Melee tournament, they should have. I completely agree with Nintendo on that, but with the Etikons, nah, I don't. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. As always, I appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks a lot. You have a good one.